Hello and welcome to a rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Today's rambling review, we're going to discuss the movie If. If is a movie written, directed, and executive produced by John Krasinski. He of Jim from The Office fame, who is also married to Emily Blunt. And he actually has a role as a supporting actor in the film as well. The film is about a young lady named Bee, played by a young actress named Kaylee Fleming, who comes to spend time and to move in for temporary time into her grandmother's apartment in New York. And you learn through the beginning of the movie that years prior, she had lived in this apartment with her parents while her mother was sick. And you don't find out exactly what it was, but in the time from the opening part of the movie until the Bee comes back, her mother has passed away. So she has a lot of memories of this place, this apartment and this place and living in here. The reason she's come to live with her grandmother in this apartment is because her father, he is having some surgery in the very same hospital where her mother spent some time at. It's never actually mentioned specifically. I believe it's kind of hinted at that he has some kind of open heart surgery. So Bee has come here to live with her grandmother and he goes to visit her dad every day in the hospital. And one night she sees something and she follows this person and discovers some imaginary creatures along with a man whose name is Calvin, or Cal for short. Cal is played by Ryan Reynolds, and she finds out that Cal is kind of a caretaker of imaginary friends, and these are all imaginary creatures of children who have grown up and who have forgotten their imaginary friends. Where unlike an Inside Out, where imaginary friends, such as Riley's friend in that movie, Bing Bong, eventually disappear and cease to exist, the imaginary friends in this world, they linger on, and they just don't have a place to go. They try to connect and reconnect with their people, and it doesn't work. And so Cal, he has the bright idea of trying to find new children for these imaginary friends. And so Bee volunteers to help him in his quest. And that's kind of the synopsis of the movie without giving away any spoilers or anything like that. Personally, I found the very first 15-20 minutes of If to be very strong, really tugged at your emotions. It was very well written in that sense of the character development and the relationship and stuff like that. After about the first 15-20 minutes or so, things started to go off track a little bit. As the movie progresses, there are plot holes. There are things that don't quite make sense. Personally, for me, I guess the biggest flaw really of the film was that there's really no rules set in place for the imaginary friends. For the ifs, they kind of exist. There's no stakes involved. The rules of their universe, they're not there. Now, I will say the film, the last part especially, it's very, very cute, in some ways sentimental, emotional, depending on, the type of person you are. I mean, it will tug at your emotions. I will say it does present a very positive role model of a father figure, of a father who loves his daughter very much and is doing everything he possibly can for her. That relationship, you don't see that very often anymore in film or television even, of a very positive father role model. And this presents one. This presents that. There's a ton of voice actors in this film. It's like a list of Hollywood celebrities. Now, this is actually Louis Gossett Jr. He has a role in this film, a voice role, and this was, I believe, his last motion picture. Ifs, the imaginary friends, there are some that are adorable that kids will really love, and there's a lot, though, that I don't think kids would actually enjoy, or even, I can't even imagine them thinking of some of these imaginary friends. They don't quite fit. Once again, it's one of those things that don't quite fit. Would I watch this movie again? Yeah, I think I would watch it again. If it was on TV or something like that, I would maybe leave it on in the background. And on a scale of 1 to 10, I will say this movie, there was another movie that came out earlier this year called Imaginary. It was a horror movie. I gave that movie a 6.5 out of 10. If, in my opinion, is better than that movie, I will give If a 7. More so because the opening 15 to 20 minutes is very strong and does illustrate a very positive father relationship, which you don't see a lot in Hollywood at all. It is something, it's a somewhat original idea. So, I give props for that, for Krasinski trying something new. This has been another Rambling Review from Adventures in TV Land. Thank you for listening. Until next time, that's a wrap.